not a painter. I am not a painter. I am a poet. Why? I think I would rather be a painter, but I am not. Well, for instance, Mike Goldberg is starting a painting. I drop in. Sit down and have a drink, he says. I drink. We drink. I look up. You have sardines in it. Yes, it needed something there. Oh. I go, and the days go by, and I drop in again. The painting is going on, and I go, and the days go by. I drop in. The painting is finished. Where's sardines? All that's left is just letters. It was too much, Mike says. But me, one day, I'm thinking about a color. Orange. I write a line about orange. Pretty soon, it is a whole page of words, not lines. Then another page. There should be so much more, not of orange, of words, of how terrible orange is, and life. Days go by. It is even in prose. I am a real poet. My poem is finished, and I haven't mentioned orange yet. It's 12 poems. I call it Oranges. And one day in a gallery, I see Mike's painting called Sardines. This is, again, sort of been tying in the Baltimore piece of it, a poem that's probably one of his most famous. The day Lady died. It is 12:20 in New York, a Friday, 3 days after Bastille Day. Yes, it is 1959, and I go get a shoe shine because I will get off the 419 in East Hampton at 7:15 and then go straight to dinner, and I don't know the people who will feed me. I walk up the muggy street beginning to sun and have a hamburger and a malted and buy an ugly New World writing to see what the poets in Ghana are doing these days. I go on to the bank, and Miss Stillwagon, first name Linda, I once heard, doesn't even look at my balance for once in her life. And in the Golden Griffin, I get a little Verlaine for Patsy with drawings by Bonnard, although I do think of Hesiod translated by Richard Lattimore, or Brendan Behan's new play, or Les Bacons, or Les Nègres of Genet, but I don't. I stick with Verlaine after practically going to sleep with quandariness. And for Mike, I just stroll into the Park Lane liquor store and ask for a bottle of Strega, and then I go back, where I came from, to 6th Avenue and the tobacconist in the Ziegfeld Theater, and casually ask for a carton of Gaulois and a carton of Picayunes, and a New York Post with her face on it. And I am sweating a lot by now, and thinking of leaning on the John door in the 5-spot while she whispered a song along the keyboard to Mal Waldron, and everyone and I stopped breathing. So I pulled out a couple of poems that were written when I was younger and more Frank-induced. The Young and the Restless, I was thinking that I wanted to write a whole book of poems with titles by television shows. The Young and the Restless. Sometimes I think I could watch Meg Ryan's mouth all night, you know, or Maria Shriver's for that matter, now that she's no longer Maria Schwarzenegger. And in all of those movies, yours, the when your cowgirl lips part, it's you about your words who entrance me here to song. Last night we yacked on the phone about nearly everyone, but today I can hate anyone but you and possibly Elaine de Kooning, whose fretful muse we likely share, buzzing across hushed park, silent little naiad, arched to a sudden stroke of joy. If If by day and lunch, strolling to your door, I pass under Lafayette, whose pinched imperious nose and kindly arrogance of gaze is so much frank, well, all the better that our poets go disguised as dead heroes, or our painters as fleet weather patterns looming on the pastel map. There's a wide band of Frankenthaler heading our way, with a chance of intermittent Motherwell by morning. Oh, seasons of change and charred hearts, you have made us another strict year older, harder than sunglasses, all too able to know why the podunk punks inside the chuck seem less drunk than what we awaken to from our etchy dreams. Our pencils and paint hung to themselves in the next room. Shaking a little, we rise to the work that moves the world aright. The postmoderns call it writing. This morning, all fuzzy and wetly new, I feel just like Cuddles Kowalski in polyester, toothless, dumpy, fabulously wealthy. St. John's steeple flosses streaking sky over Chuckville rooflines and cats yodeling to be fed. But there I go, down the door, out 31st, past skewed red grooms, row homes, hobbling old ladies in see-through galoshes, past the old telephone building now gutted for that condo set whose obscure desires are as boring as eggs, on to the corner of St. Paul where the voice still is too expensive, though there is something in greedy people we admire. At the deli, I wave to Joe, buy a cheese Danish and the good coffee up front, then next door to Ziggy's in time to drain 3 cups of a red he's tasting, and stagger out down the block now, thickly happy, chatting at laundromat with Randy, who tells me I'm a grandmother and I'm getting married again, and grabbing your dress in a plastic bag, walk back through the edgy day on fire. These streets stir a cheesecake sweeter than Manhattan, yet the weakening noon may give way to sudden terror, to stumble blindly into a chair of a curtained room. We grasp at darkness with both hands, even if our analyst pulls the cord, flooding his office with a raw and angry light as he wipes one lens with a crisp kerchief. I think of you working, your clothes stained like a flag with the blood and shit of the dying, their fluorescent wings crackle against green ceilings like mad wasps, your eyes filling up with broken glass. The postmoderns call it writing, but I say it's love, clenched in the jaw of the new moon, gracing our steps in a world that will not dance.